Hi everybody. So today we're going to decorate these envelopes I made, and I'm using two different digitals for it. There's the name for one, I could not pronounce it, and then Shabby Dabby Doodah's digitals is the other one. I will try to link both of them below in the box, and I'm just now trying to figure out what papers I want for the background for them. I decided on the two that I grabbed because the Shabby Dabby Doodahs ones are a little bit darker, so I figured the light spider web would look really good with it. And now I'm picking what else I want on there with the embellishments. I found a little number thing, and I really want the spider to use as a closure for the flap. And this one that I'm picking out is actually a spider, and after I get it all inked up, I realize I don't really want two spiders close together. So I picked something else to cut out and use, which actually looked better to me. And so I'm cutting them right now, and I'm about ready to ink them now that I have all my pieces. So I am using the purple distress ink, which is Seedless Preserves, and then I'm using vintage photo over it. I just love how it gives it I don't know, it's just like this perfect Halloween look for me. And so I start putting all of my pieces down, and I just realized that I didn't have the bottom taken care of. So I'm placing all of my stuff to see where I want them. And I put the big piece down. I really love that spider as a closure, so I glue it halfway, and I realized when I did that I actually glued it a little bit. It was harder to get that flap open. And I put this this other piece that's lighter on the side instead of over where I originally thought. That way it separates the two purples, and I think it looks better. They both stand out a little bit more. And so now that I'm trying to decorate the top, not sure what I want to use. And I find these crows that are just really cool. If you have not checked out her embellishments for her Halloween, Shabby Dabby Doodah has like these fabulous embellishments. And so I'm trying to decide what I want on there. What else? And of course, you need to ink all of those white edges, or else they just look really weird. And I'm noticing I'm missing something. I want a letter. So I cut it off of this other piece that actually the cauldron I'll use later on. And I keep deciding whether I want to put it all together with the flap on or off. So I'm just putting all this stuff together. And one done. And then I'm showing my daughter came home from dance during that time frame, and I was showing her, and she was like, I have to have it. So I think all these pockets got lost to her album. My mother made her a beautiful Halloween album because, she's really obsessed with it, with Halloween. So I think all 3 of the pieces I make today are going to wind up going into her stash for her book, which is fine. So here I'm just putting more paper on the second one, and I'm squishing all the glue around on the back of that paper. So I'm cutting this down, and I'm realizing after I cut it that I really don't want it cut. I want it ripped, so I start ripping it, which I think looks way better. And then I just use plain vintage photo on this one. I don't mix the two. And then I decide what else I want on there. So I know I'm putting the crow piece as a belly band because I decided I wanted the closure for this envelope a little different than the other. So I put the belly band down below. I make that little piece with the crow into a belly band, and then I add these other little pieces on top to decorate the top. And what I should have done was, well, for this one, it turned out really fine. So I'm adding all these pieces. I probably should have put a lighter color on there because it's kind of hard to see a little. But, my daughter's going to love it regardless, so it's all good. And I've cut around this piece, and I'm going to put that in there. And so that kind of got stuck. But what I'm using that little skeleton thing for was the closure. And then here, I decided to put this piece, this little folder. She can do whatever she wants. I put that in there. And so now I'm decorating the last folder, envelope, I should say. And she liked the cauldron, so I cut out the cauldron earlier for her, and the cauldron was actually what I took the number off for the previous envelope. So I'm just using vintage photo to get it all colored. I don't use the purple on there. Don't know why I didn't. I just didn't. And this one is pretty simple. I didn't do a whole lot to it. I'm spreading the glue, and so what I did wrong here, which I realized after, is this is really thick cardstock, and which didn't turn out really good because when you open it, it turned out really, like if you have it glued to a page, it'll make it really hard to get it on and off. Open it and close it, so she won't be able to put this one on a page. You're going to really want to use paper so the top has the flexibility it needs. Because it just did not work. So I'm spreading the glue, and then I'm going to be putting, finding what I want on there. I know I want the cauldron on there, so I'm making sure I glue a little further down so I don't have the same problem as before. And then see how I have to bend it to get it back in. The paper is just way too thick. So if you try this, I would recommend you using regular paper. So I'm trying to figure out what I want on top. And I'm not having much luck. I thought stickers. And I decided to put a sticker up there. I didn't like the button. And so I started thinking about lace, and I added this lace, which this lace was this ugly pink, like just really gross pink. And I changed the color with unicorn spit. And so, which worked really good. I wish I would have had black lace. I'm going to have to get dye my stuff black next time. And that doesn't hold. It keeps popping up. So I had to get better glue for it. And here I realized that I finally bought Fabrifix, and I realized, oh, I don't have the top for it. I need to cut it off, which I didn't. So I get different glue that works better. And when it dries clear. I mean, it's really colored now, but it'll dry nice and clear when it's done. And I decide it needs something more. So I look for some bling that I have, and flat back pearls, I believe, is what I used to add to it. And so the ones that I pick, I bought these at, oh gosh, like $1 for this pack. And most of the shapes were ones I wouldn't use, but I give them to my friends' kids to use, and they think it's awesome that they get to use part of my craft stash. So here I am putting on the pearls, black ones, to add to it, which really enhanced the piece. It's amazing what a little pearl color will do. So I hope you guys all like this tutorial. There's the 3 that I finished, and hope you guys have a crafty day. See you next time. Bye.